Hello. Bonjour. My name is Paulo de Castro Reis, and I'm the Executive Director of CCBC. Welcome to the first Brazilian Week CCBC Online Festival, a digital event organized by the Chamber of Commerce Brasil-Canada, as also known as CCBC, in partnership with the Brazilian Embassy in Canada, the consulates, the Brazilian consulates in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, and sponsored by Air Canada. This festival presents more than 20 webinars covering three main areas: business opportunities, innovation, and business and Brazilian culture. Besides, the Brazilian Week website offers free access to more than 200 cultural contents. I would like to start this session by calling Mikaely Correa, Business Development of CCBC, to moderate this session. Welcome, Mikaely.
Thank you, Paulo. Hello, everyone. Bonjour. Before our guests start their presentations, I would like to show a quick animation regarding Cachaça. Just a minute. So everyone, the Chamber of Commerce Brazil-Canada has been working in the cachaça market for the past 3 years in order to understand the Canadian regulations and also to prepare Brazilian companies to start exporting cachaça to Canada. Today we are here with two very special guests, Carlos from Cachaçaria Sebastiana and Suélen from Cachaçaria Alambique, Brazil. And our first speaker will be Carlos. Carlos, welcome, go ahead. You are on mute.
What about now? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now it's okay.
Okay, I just don't see my face here in the presentation. Where am I? Carlos, me, more. Just a second, please. I will start sharing the presentation already. So first, welcome everyone. Thank you guys from Comércio, Brasil-Canadá, Brazil and Canada Chambers of Commerce for the opportunity to talk a little bit to the Canadians and explain about the Brazilian Cachaça and its market, and also a little bit of Sebastiana, which is the product that we make, we produce. I don't know if you guys are seeing the image right now. Okay, just a second. Okay, so Cachaça Sebastiana is a new brand from a old family. We started our production down on the 60s, on the early 60s, and my grandfather and my uncle started producing cachaça in this Alambique. This is a 3-body Alambique. This is not me, as you can see. But and then at that time we used to make around 100 or 200,000 liters of cachaça a year. I can't. How? Mikaely.
Hi.
Can you please help me with the size of the presentation?
Okay, you can stop sharing your presentation, and Luisa can share for us. Stop sharing.
I have to stop sharing?
Yes.
Just a second, I have a little problem with the computer. Okay, stop share. Okay.
Just a minute. Luisa will share the presentation. Just a minute.
Okay, so now you are controlling, right?
Yes.
Okay, so again, if you please, if you can change the slide, please. So this is my grandfather. He's a very bad man, very angry man, just not. He's he was an entrepreneur. He was a very special person that built a lot of stuff while he was around. He left a legacy for the family that we understand that it's like unpriceable, unpayable. He was a very nice guy, and although he was a very funny guy, he was a happy guy. He was very serious and very. Não vai para você. Mikaely?
Hi. Your internet's not very good, but we are seeing your presentation and we are hearing you. Yeah, if you would like to stop sharing your video, I think it will be better. The connection will be better. Stop sharing your video.
Done. Okay. Done. Are you hearing me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we are hearing you.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened today. Just today, my internet's not working at all. So again, this is my uncle, and he used to work with my grandfather, and this lady next to him was the lady that she was a person that used to sell the cachaça on the farm. And someday, a worker came to the store and asked if cachaça was as good as the lady's leg. So my uncle and I took it was staying for a long time.
Carlos, we cannot hear you. Carlos, we cannot hear you.
I just changed the router of the internet. Let's see if it works now.
Okay, if you would like to change the order of the presentation with Suélen, we can do that in order you to arrange your internet and stuff.
Let's try for last time. Let's try for last time. If it doesn't work, she can go ahead and present before me.
Okay.
Okay, so that lady, this is my uncle, and that lady it was the lady that used to sell the cachaça on the farm store. And someday some guy came and asked if the cachaça was as good as her legs. And then it was a big confusion that happened on the farm. And my uncle and my grandfather took a advantage of this situation and created a cachaça in her, how can I say, in her, trying to understand and trying to take a hike in this situation. Next one, Mikaely, please, Mikaely. So the name of the lady was Sebastiana, and after very, very long years, they stopped producing cachaça in the early 70s. And in 2011, we start producing Sebastiana again and continuing the legacy of the family Cachaça in the family. Next one, please. So we started our production and aging process with Sebastiana Castanheira, which is a hardwood from Brazil, a very special one because it gives us the liquor, nuts, almonds, and vanilla taste. Very similar from American oak, but it's totally Brazilian. It's totally well finished spirit. It's a very good one. Next one, please. So once we start producing cachaça, we understood that we had a lot to learn, and we understood as well as the Brazilian market wasn't mature enough to give us the information that we need to produce a special and good liquid. So we went to Scotland, we went to Kentucky to understand and how those guys were aging whiskey and bourbon. So we took some classes, we visit a lot of distilleries. Next one, please. Understanding aging process, understanding the peat, how the peat gives flavor to the whiskey. Understand aging many years, how long years, for 1, 2, 5, 10. Try to understand for how long we have to keep the cachaça inside of the barrel to have a good product and to have a buyable product. If you keep the cachaça too long in the barrel, the price rises too much, and then you cannot sell. Next one, please. Again, please. Next one. And so after these trips, these classes and distillery visits, we start producing other different liquids, other different cachaças. So we have on the right one, the Crystal, which is unaged cachaça. It spends 6 months in the stainless steel tanks. The next one is Sebastiana Blend, which is 70% of the white one, the Crystal, and 30% of American oak. The middle one, Duas Barricas, which means double barrel or double cask. It spends 2 years in American oak and 2 more years in chestnut, which is the next product that you can see there. It's aged for 2 years at least in chestnut barrels. And the last one is Sebastiana single barrel. Carvalho means oak. It spends at least 3 years aging in brand new American oak barrels. So this is our line of products. You can find these products in the SAQ stores, but not yet in Montreal. But in Toronto. But next year for sure. Next one, please. So once we had the products, we are trying to understand how to market these products. We create a showroom for our products in a municipal market that we have here in our city. You can see the store there. So that was the place that people was going to understand what Cachaça Sebastiana is, and how we would like the people to understand our brand. Okay, so it's not a regular cachaça, it's not a medium or average cachaça. We like to say that we have a super premium product, and this is the image that we understood that was want to be passing away to people to understand that. Next one, please. Many events. We always we're associating our brands with international and very important brands, as you can see, doing events and cocktail parties and everything for international and very well-known brands. Next one, please. So let's talk about the market, cachaça. Nobody knows for sure where the cachaça was made for the first time. We understand that it's between 1516 and 1532, but there is no official document that proves that the cachaça were made and where it was made. So we understand that this is the most accurate. There is not a very accurate document, but there is some documents that can prove that we had the cachaça being made from 1516. Today we produce 1.2 billion liters per year, and we have almost 4,000 brands. Next one, please. I will not approach too much this slide because the next presenter will talk about the market. So next one, please. A little bit of to understand what's the difference between cachaça and rum. Cachaça is made from fresh sugarcane juice. It's a law. It's obligation of law. We have to do it this way. We cannot use molasses. We cannot use sugar or any other kind of fruits. It's just sugarcane juice. Okay. To be color aged, the bottle have to have 50% of aged product for at least 1 year, and 50% of non-aged product, and alcohol by volume have to be between 38 and 48%. Premium, it has to be 100% of the liquid aged for at least 1 year. Extra premium, 100% of the liquid for 3 years. Okay, the rum, you can see this down there. That's it's obtained by the distillation of molasses, or the mixing of the molasses alcohol and the cachaça alcohol. But there's very few companies doing this right now. Normally, the bigger number is from molasses. And you can see the difference between the light rum, the heavy rum, and the aged rum. Again, it's an international law, and we have to follow the way that people say we have to. Next one, please. So talking about the hardwood in Brazil, you can see that Ambuana, it's one of the most internationally known Brazilian woods. People are using in whiskey, people are using in calvados, people are using in wine, and it has a very, very, very particular flavor and aroma that any other kind of wood delivers. Balsam, oak, chestnut is okay, following down on the list. Ambuana, balsamo, it's balsam. Carvalho is oak. Castanheira, chestnut. And then Cumaru, I cannot translate that. Eucalipto, it's Lyptus. Ipê, Jaqueira, Jequitibá, Iputumuju. Again, there is no how to translate that kind of wood. Those are Tupiniquim names. That is the language that the Indians used to speak in Brazil. But you can see on the charts that what kind of flavors the woods delivers. Next one, please. Okay, talking about the maturity of the market in Brazil, internationally, I think cachaça is the ball of the time. It's as we say in Brazil, it's the last candy in the package, in the bag. Everybody is asking about cachaça. Everybody is trying to understand the difference between a good one, the aged cachaça and white cachaça. The sales are blowing around the world for the aged cachaça. And as is happening with whiskey, cachaça is, we are learning how to do the product internationally how can I say that, to understand what the international tastes are. So you can see the two of our products there. It's aged for 3 years in American oak barrels, and then 2 more years. The product on the left in Scotch whiskey barrels, and the product on the right in port barrels for 2 more years. So it's a 5 years aged product, and it's a product that there is no similarity in the market. Next one, please. That's it. Thank you. I'm here for questions if anyone would like to.
Thank you, Carlos, for your presentation. Now we will hear more about cachaça. Suélen from Alambique, Brazil. May you go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Where is my slides?
Just a minute.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. No, the last one, please. The first one. Yeah. Okay. Hello, my name is Suélen Albuquerque. I'm commercial manager at Cachaçaria Alambique, Brazil. And first of all, I wanted to apologize because my English is not so good like Carlos, but I will do my best here. Now I will introduce my company very quickly. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, we are located in south of Brazil in Ortigueira City. Like you can see my slide, we are a new company. We started in 2016, and although we are a small family business, we have a large production capacity, and we collected 60 medals around the world in just 2 years. And also our products are handcrafted and observe the quality requirements in all stages of productions, like you can see in the next slide, please. Okay, here I will show you a short video about our property. Let's go, yeah. You can play, please. Okay. This video you can see about our property, product, and our handcraft production, but unfortunately doesn't have sound, so I'm deeply sorry about that. Yeah, now you can see about our production, our cane, our bottles. Yeah, this is our company. Okay, next one, please. About our products, our cachaças, they are aged in French oak they are aged in French oak and Amburana Brazilian wood barrels, and also we have like cachaças flavors, like a ready caipirinha, but you use different flavors like lemon, pepper, and honey. And we mix with some Brazilian fruits like açaí and jabuticaba. Both looks like a blueberry, okay, but they are Brazilian fruits. And also we do have gins, the traditional one. Another one is aged in French oak for 6 months. And also we have a mint gin flavor too. Next slide, please. Okay, here is about a Brazilian market. We are 4,000 registered brands, like Carlos already said. In 2018, we produced 1.5 billion liters of cachaça, and 86% of market share among spirits consumed in Brazil, and it's extremely regulated market. Cachaça is produced in all Brazilian states, and in the graph, you can see the biggest cachaça producers in Brazil, being the first three responsible for almost all industrial cachaças productions. My company, Alambique Brazil, are located in Paraná, and our state produces only 4% of cachaça. The next slide, please. Okay, about export. In relation to exports, in 2018, cachaça was exported for 77 countries with more than 55 exporting companies, and the main destinations country in value were United States, Germany, Paraguay, Portugal, and Italy. And only between 1 and 2% is what Brazil exports per year in relation to annual production. Next slide. Yeah, here you can see about spirit versatility, and we can make a lot of drinks using cachaça, mixing with taste syrups and fruits. In the picture, you can see the small glass with just a shot. Many people usually take one shot, serving before meals or between one beer and another. In the next slide, you can see Caipirinha. Yeah, Caipirinha is Brazil's national cocktail, made with shots of cachaça, sugar, ice, and lime. Just it. The drink is prepared by mixing the fruit and the sugar together, and then aging cachaça. With the next slide, you can see Negroni drink. It's a popular Italian cocktail made with one part of gin, 1 part vermouth, 1 part of cachaça, and garnished with orange peel. And the next one, the next slide, yeah. We have the Pisco Sour, which one you can use just cachaça, ice, sugar, juice, lemon, and egg white. So these are just 2 examples of drinks we can taste our cachaça. There are many possibilities. And that's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Suélen. Thank you, Carlos. The assistants, you may feel free to send questions through the chat, but I have some questions here, and I would like that our guests answer them. The first question is for you, Carlos.
Okay.
Carlos, you are working with CCBC for a while, right? And can you please tell us about the challenges faced to introduce cachaça in the Canadian market, and what are
I didn't understand your question. Can you repeat it, please?
Yes, sure. You are working with CCBC for a while now, right? And I would like to know the challenges that you faced to introduce cachaça in Canada, and what are the important strategies that you think can work to overcome these challenges?
Okay. To export cachaça at all, it's very hard. It's a not very known product around the world. People knows the white cachaça, the unaged cachaça, but they don't know very much the aged cachaça. So to introduce a product like this, it's very hard in any kind of anywhere of the world. But Canada is it's a very particular market because of the monopoly. All the Canadians know that we only can sell.
We have a problem with Carlos. Sorry, Carlos may come shortly. Suélen, we have some questions for you too. Is there any bilateral trade agreement between Brazil and any other country?
Yeah, there is a bilateral.
Some days I was saying that it's a very hard thing to export the cachaça, the aged cachaça. I'm sorry.
Carlos?
Okay.
Sorry, now your internet's coming back. You can finish your answer, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened today. The internet here is very bad. Normally it's very good. I don't know what's happening today. I was saying that in Canada, Canada is a very particular market, as everybody in Canada knows, because of the monopoly. So we have to have a quality measurement in very high stakes because of the test that we go through in the LCBO, in the SAQ. So the alcohol percentage, the chemical components of the liquid have to be very, very, very well controlled so we can export to Canada. Market the place, to market the product in Canada is hard as it is in any other country, even in Brazil, because we have to throw tasting events, we have to do online marketing, we have to do a lot of work to sell the product well overseas. So the challenge is to make a very good product every day, every year.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you very much for your answer. We have some political strategies now. So I want that Suélen now explain more about the bilateral trade agreements between Brazil and other countries.
Yeah, there is a bilateral agreement for the cachaça recognition as being exclusively from Brazil. The agreement is with Mexico, Peru, Chile, and United States.
Ah, so good. Yeah. Thank you. Carlos, we have another question for you here. Okay. Are you listening? What are the Brazilian woods, specific Brazilian woods, used to prepare premium cachaça, and what is the importance of them in the production process?
First, we have to understand that there is some hardwoods that we cannot use by law. They are protected by law, and I believe today most of the distilleries are using legal hardwood. But in Brazil, we have, as I said in my presentation, Amburana is a wood that everybody is getting to know because of its particularity of its flavor and aromas. And Jequitibá, it's another Brazilian hardwood that everybody uses, and as well as I think the most old one that people uses is balsam, normally in the north of Minas Gerais state. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Suélen, we have another question for you about about cachaça market. Is there an age group that consumes more premium cachaça in Brazil?
I don't believe there is an age group of consumption. Nowadays, more and more young people are consuming our pure cachaças like a shot and in a drinks. So I think don't have an age. Maybe Carlos can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think don't have.
Okay.
What's that? I didn't understand again.
Carlos, Suélen told us that there is not an age group that consumes more cachaça. They can be consumed for young people and also adults and so on. There is not a specific age group. Cachaça is commercialized in bars and what else, Suélen? Can you please explain to us the marketplaces that you are selling cachaça Alambique Brazil?
It's for me. Okay. So.
No, it's not. It's totally fine, Carlos. We sell our products for like restaurants, bars, and hotels, supermarket, like all places you can drink drinks or shots, or have Cachaça Alambique Brazil. And that doesn't matter if it's a big bar or a small one. We are making sure everybody has our cachaça, so everybody can drink our cachaça.
Thank you. And what about you, Carlos? What are your marketplaces that you sell your cachaça, Sebastiana?
We have a strategy to sell in like a very fashionable bars, in hotels, and restaurants that use cocktails in their menus. The cachaça by itself, if you want to sell like a shot of cachaça, it's going to be in like a fashion bars that people goes to watch games or soccer or to sit and have a cold beer. But when you go to like a more fashion, more high-end places like restaurants and hotels, normally they use cachaça for cocktails, as Mikaely, as Suélen was explaining. Creating new additions of as she said, a Negroni. You can change one of the spirits for cachaça. You can make a whiskey sour, not a whiskey sour, but a cachaça sour. So there's a lot of versatility with cocktail making with cachaça. In Toronto, for an example, we have our agent there that she's presenting Sebastiana right now for a lot of hotels and a lot of bars, and every single bartender gets the cachaça and makes a cocktail with it. They normally don't try it neat. They normally make cocktails.
Thank you, Carlos. We have another question here from the chat. To how many countries are you exporting already? Carlos, we can start then, Suélen.
Carlos or Suélen?
Carlos, you can start, then Suélen.
Okay. We export to Canada, France, and Austria. We are starting an operation right now to the United Kingdom, but I believe it will happen only in 2022.
Okay, and how about you, Suélen?
We doesn't export Cachaça Alambique Brazil yet. We are trying to do it. We are having a conversation with some people in Canada, in London and China, and we hope you can start next year, but now we don't export it yet.
Thank you, Suélen. We have another question for you, Carlos. I know, and we know that in Canada there are some brands of cachaça. I would like that you explain better what is the difference between premium cachaça and this one that is transparent and is already available at the Canadian market.
Okay. To begin with, we have two kinds of distillation. We have the pot still distillation and we have the column distillation. In Brazil, it's not that we say that column distillation is worse, but you cannot achieve the congeners or the flavors that a pot still distillation achieves. So this is the first thing. Cachaça is known worldwide for making caipirinhas, for preparing caipirinhas. So they use unaged cachaça. What we are selling here, what we are producing here is aged cachaça, and they are aged at the very special and very same way that Scotch whiskey is aged, as bourbon is aged. So they are totally different products. As the same thing as people, okay, it's whiskey, but you have a Macallan or you have a Johnny Walker. Not to say bad or good for its brands, but it's known that Macallan is the Rolls Royce of the whiskey, and Johnny Walker, you have the very first one, the red label, that cannot be compared to a blue label. Cachaça is the same thing. You have cachaça with less quality and cachaça with more quality.
Thank you, Carlos. And I have one last question for both of you. In fact, we know that for the Canadian market and also for the Brazilian market, the sustainable aspects are very important. So I would like to know, Suélen, a little bit more about the production process of Cachaças Alambique Brazil, but in this context, in the sustainable context, please. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Oops, sorry. All our production is sustainable, and we how can I say it? We use it everything in the process. We don't make a
Waste.
A trash. How can which word I can use?
That you don't have waste.
Yes.
We don't waste nothing. Yeah, we can use everything in our property.
Thank you. And how about you, Carlos?
I think it's the same way. It's the same way as Suélen. What we do is that all the bagasse it's a leftover from the milling of the sugar cane, or we use in the boiling steam, the boiler, to create steam, or we use to feed the cattle when we are in the dry season, as well as the leftovers of the cachaça distillation. We use it to, I will try to find the word in English, as a fertilizer for the sugarcane plantation. So there is no leftovers, and the only electricity that we use in our factory is to run the mill. Everything else is from solar or from the steam generated by the boiler.
Thank you, Carlos. We have another question here from the chat. Do you agree that cachaça prices in Canada is too high? Carlos, can you explain more about the prices of cachaça in Canada? You that you are already working in this market.
I do. I believe it's very expensive. Imagine that the cachaça is produced here in Brazil. We have to bottle it. We have to set up pallets. We have to put in a truck and then send it to the port. And then a ship goes from Brazil to Canada. There is no straight liner, a ship liner from Brazil to Canada. So we have to go to New York, and then from New York we go to Canada. And then there's a very high taxation from the Canadian market. For you to understand, there is a product of ours that is in SAQ that we exported for $5, the bottle, and it's for sale for almost $40, 40 Canadian dollars. We cannot control it, and we cannot adjust our production to lower the price, because when we export, we don't have the Brazilian taxes, but we have the Canadian taxes. So it's very hard to produce a quality liquid, and this product gets in Canada with lower prices.
Thank you, Carlos. We have here another question. Do you think that the bottle size of spirits, usually 750 milliliters, is a challenge to Brazilian sizes?
No. The thing is, I'm talking about Sebastiana, okay? When we start our production, we started with 500 milliliters bottles, and then we used the double barrel, the duas barricas, in 700 milliliter bottles, sorry, not barrels. And I agree that we're supposed to have 1 liter or 750, but again, to export it, it gets very, very expensive. So if you have one product in Canada right now that is expensive in the size of the bottle that it is already, it will be much more expensive to have it in bigger bottles.
Thank you, Carlos, and thank you, Suélen. I think we don't have any more questions here. It's indeed, I would like to thank you both for explaining more about cachaça. It is indeed a very traditional and important drink to our Brazilian culture. I would like to say that CCBC is planning a cachaça trade mission for the next year, and as soon as we have more details, we will let you know. And now, our Brazilian Week Festival will continue. The next panel is about Brazilian music. We will, so I will invite you all to take your caipirinhas, watch the panel, as well as the others that will occur through this week. Also, you can access festival's website and access a lot of contacts about Brazilian culture and share with friends and family. Okay, thank you very much. And bye-bye.
Thank you, Mikaely. Thank you, Suélen. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good week, and be safe.
Be safe.
Thank you. Have a good one for all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.